Hey guys! Today I'm reviewing the Beretta Nano, which has been out for almost a year now. It was released in October of 2011, and I had been curious about it since it's pretty close in size to both the M&P Shield and also the Walther PPS that I reviewed before. Plus I've gotten a lot of questions about it. I was recently loaned this Nano from Beretta, and it's the first Beretta that I've had the chance to shoot, so I was really anxious to put some ammo through it and see what I thought. And honestly, I have been really impressed with this little gun. I found it to be very accurate and very comfortable to shoot, and I think it's another great compact 9mm option for concealed carry. It is a single stack striker fired handgun that is made in the USA by Beretta, which is an Italian company. It is currently only in 9mm, but Beretta does plan to come out with a 40 caliber version in the future, which is actually what the Nano was originally designed for. Also, I just got this latest issue of American Rifleman magazine in the mail a few days ago. It's the October 2012 issue. And it's actually got an article in it on the Nano, which I thought was kind of neat since I'm in the middle of working on this review. And the article says it's available in both a 9 and a 40, which I was surprised to see, so I called Beretta and they did verify that that's incorrect. The Nano is only in a 9mm right now, and they have no estimated release date yet for the 40. As for magazines, the Nano does come with 2 mags, which is good because each mag only holds 6 rounds, so total capacity is 7 when you've got a full mag plus a round in the chamber. I was told by a Beretta rep that an extended 8-round magazine will be available in about 60 days or less, so it is planned to come out before the end of this year, which is awesome. And it will be both a complete magazine and also as an aftermarket plus 2 base plate that can be added to the 6-round mag. And also, the Nano does not have a magazine disconnect safety, so it can still be fired without a magazine in it. In fact, it says right here on the frame, fires without magazine. It's got what they're calling a technopolymer frame that's reinforced with fiberglass, so it's lightweight but yet very durable. And the slide is made of steel and is coated with Pronox, which is a corrosion-resistant finish that's very similar to and basically the same as the Tenifer coating on Glocks and the melanite finish on M&Ps and XDs. On the slide here, it says BU9, which I thought maybe that stood for backup 9, but as it turns out, it stands for Beretta USA 9mm, in case you're interested. And one really unique feature that I really like about the Nano is that it has a removable stainless chassis inside the frame with the serial number on it that's visible through this window. So your registered firearm is actually the internal chassis itself. And I think that's really cool because depending on what options are offered in the future, it'll make it really easy to customize your Nano and change to a different size grip or a different colored frame and still maintain the legal serial number. Beretta does plan to offer some different replacement options in the future, and I do know that right now they're working on some different colored frames that'll be out before the end of this year, sometime in the next 90 days, but I'm not sure what colors exactly, so I'm really curious to see what they come out with. And honestly, if they come out with an olive green, I think I might have some serious thinking to do. I know that online there was some talk of a replacement frame in the future with an integrated laser, but Beretta told me they're not going forward with that right now. For lasers, Crimson Trace came out with a laser guard for the Nano at the start of September, so that's been available for almost a month now, and Laser Max is also making a laser guard that will be available for the Nano in October. On the frame, before I forget to point this out, there are little dimples at the base of the grip to help make it easier to remove the magazine, so that's really nice. And also there are these nice grooves to rest your thumb in, and they're on both sides, so Beretta was looking out for both lefties and righties with that. I'm not used to putting my thumb up since my thumb's short, and I'm not used to there being a nice thumb rest like this on a pistol, so you'll notice I didn't use that while shooting, but I could have if I wanted to use a two-handed thumb forward grip like this. It is a very comfortable notch, and you could always stipple it or have it textured to give you a little more traction. Also, as for traction, there is fairly aggressive texturing on the front and the back of the grip, which is nice. And only 2.5 of my fingers fit on the grip, but when they do come out with that extended mag, you'll be able to fit another finger on, so that'll be nice. And even though my pinky does hang off a little bit, I didn't mind because it's a comfortable grip size, and I didn't find the recoil to be bad at all, so I did not actually have to readjust my grip between rounds. I do really like the grip on the Nano, and I actually like it equally as much as my Shield, if not better. I can fit my small hands on it great, and I can reach the trigger well, and I can also get a naturally high grip on it, which is really nice. As you can see, I get a great grip with the Nano, and on the Shield, my natural grip leaves me with a little bit of a gap there. And I'm not sure if that's because of the curvature, the fact that the Shield has a deeper curve, but I do have a little gap there with the Shield, and with the Nano, it does fit my hand a little bit better. As for sights, it comes with standard 3-dot sights that are really nice, and they're made of steel. I really like how bright the sights are on the Nano, especially when compared to my Shield actually. My Shield is on the right. Here are the rear sights, and then here are the front sights. And as you can see, the Nano is a lot brighter. Also, tritium night sights are available for the Nano, and you can easily swap them out yourself using a 1.3mm Allen wrench, which is awesome. It just comes out the front, and I love that you don't need any special tools or a punch, and you don't have to take it to a gunsmith. And you can also use the same size Allen wrench to adjust these 2 screws on the rear sight for windage, which is really convenient and also really easy to do by hand. It was super quick for me to adjust the rear sight at the range and get it sighted in, and it never moved once I tightened it down, and I was really impressed with how accurate it was. It is very low profile with no external slide stop or external safety, so it won't snag on anything, which is great for concealed carry. And although it does not have an actual slide stop or release button, the slide does lock back after the last round has been fired, and the internal slide catch keeps the slide back on an empty mag. Now, since there is no external slide stop or safety that would make it left or right hand specific, the Nano is fully ambidextrous, and the mag release here can be switched to the other side for left or right-handed shooters. In regards to safeties, there is a trigger safety here, which prevents the trigger from moving back if the pistol is dropped, and that safety is deactivated when you intentionally pull the trigger. Also, the Nano has a long, fairly heavy trigger pull that I would also consider to be a sort of safety. I measured it with a Timney trigger pull gauge, and I consistently got between 7.25 and 7.5 pounds. I'm used to a lighter pull of approximately 6.25 pounds with the M&P Shield, so it took a little while for me to get used to this one, but I ended up doing really well with the Nano, and I did like the trigger on it. Also, the reset on the trigger is nice and crisp, which I will show you here. You can hear the reset. It is a very nice reset. I put 615 rounds through the Nano, and I used several different brands and weights of ammo, as well as hollow points and 2 different types of +P ammunition, and the pistol functioned perfectly with all of them. I'm happy to say that I did not have any malfunctions with this gun, and I didn't clean it during any of those 615 rounds. I only cleaned it twice, once right when I first got it, and then again when I was all done shooting it. While I was shooting, I did have quite a bit of trouble with the magazine release. Sometimes the mag just wouldn't drop free after I hit the button, and also I had a really hard time hitting the button in general on the Nano. I'm not sure if it's because of the angle of the button or because it doesn't stick out very far, but I started using a different technique to release the magazine. I ended up using the thumb of my left hand, and I'm a right-handed shooter, but that actually ended up working out pretty well for me. Since the Nano is very comparable in size to several other single stack 9mm like the M&P Shield and the Walther PPS, I've gone ahead and made you guys a chart. For capacity, the Shield and the PPS do have some different magazine options, and the Nano will have an extended mag soon. As for overall weight, I did weigh the Nano, the Shield, and the PPS all empty with no magazine, and the LC9 weight is the only one I got from the manufacturer's website. The manual says that the Nano weighs 20 ounces unloaded, and their website says 17.67 ounces unloaded. So on my own scale, the Nano weighs 20 ounces unloaded with a mag, and 18.3 ounces unloaded without a mag. The M&P Shield unloaded without a mag is 18.6 ounces, and the Walther PPS unloaded without a mag is 19.5 ounces. For the length, the first 3 are in order from shortest to longest, so I'll try to show you that here. The Nano is the shortest, the PPS is the longest, and the Shield is right in the middle. For the width, according to the manual, the Nano is 0.9 inches wide exactly, which would make it the thinnest, but I thought the Nano looked the thickest of all of them, which didn't make sense to me, so I used calipers to measure the Nano, the Shield, and the PPS for myself, and the narrowest I could get for the Nano was actually 0.94 inches. The Nano actually has the thickest slide of all of these. On the PPS, the slide and the frame are both 0.91, and the only reason it measures so wide on Walther's stats is because they're accounting for the slide stop that sticks out. The Shield has the narrowest slide at 0.9 exactly, but their width is accounting for the frame width that is 0.95 in one spot. So really, these are all about the same width, and the stats all vary depending on whether the slide or the frame is thicker and whether or not there is a slide stop. The Nano has the shortest barrel length and also the shortest height. It's kind of hard to show here, but I'll do my best. The Shield is in the middle and the Nano's on this side. The fact that it's so short is really great for concealed carry because then there's less grip to be poking out from underneath your clothing. The Nano does have the heaviest trigger pull, which I measured with my gauge. And as for pricing, the MSRP for the Nano is $475, but I just put on here what you can usually find it for. The Nano is designed to be easily disassembled without having to pull the trigger. First, you unload it and remove your magazine and check to make sure that the gun is clear. Your slide also has to be forward, and then you take a punch and you press on the striker deactivation button until it clicks. And then you rotate this disassembly pin till it's horizontal, which is a quarter turn counterclockwise. Then you can see that your slide slides right off the frame. And here is your spring that you can take out. And it is very heavy duty. And here's your barrel. And to reassemble, you just put your barrel back in and your spring back in like that. And before you slide it back on the frame, you just want to make sure that this is still in the horizontal unlocked position. And you line them up and wrap it once. And then you want to just make sure that this disassembly pin is now in the locked position and it's vertical. And that's it. I really didn't know what to expect with the Nano since my first impression was that it looked a bit thick and boxy to me, even though it's beveled really nice right here. And I also thought that the trigger pull seemed long, but I ended up really liking this gun quite a bit. I do currently carry the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield daily, but if I didn't already have that, I would be giving this gun some serious thought. I do like the mag release better on my Shield, but I do like the sights better on the Nano, and this gun really does have a lot of pros. It is accurate, reliable, it's also very comfortable to shoot, and it's very well designed and well built, and it is also ambidextrous. So if you are in the market for a compact 9mm, I definitely think this is an excellent one to consider. And I hope you guys found this helpful, and thanks for watching. Bye.